welcome back to my channel called Baking Project 101. And for today's episode, we will be baking the most popular cake in the world called the classic chocolate sponge cake. Stay tuned because I'm gonna reveal a secret ingredient that makes this chocolate cake super and extra moist that you're gonna love it. Preheat the oven. So you're gonna preheat it at 165 degrees centigrade or 230 degrees Fahrenheit. So we start to gather our ingredients. We start with our dry ingredients, which is the sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, and the cocoa. Alright, so we're gonna start with our flour. We measure 150 grams of flour, which is a cup and a tablespoon, okay? I'm just using a cup as measurement because this is a dry ingredient anyway. So a cup, 1 cup, you put it in a bowl, and 1 tablespoon. So you can use your food scale, it really doesn't matter. The chocolate cake is the most foolproof, no-fail recipe ever. So it's easy. And now we're gonna combine the cocoa powder here and the baking powder and the baking soda. And the cocoa powder is 80 grams, meaning it's a half cup. I've already measured this, so I know that it is half a cup and a 1 tablespoon. So there you go, level that off. And I'm gonna add a tablespoon to make sure it is 80 grams. So, So we combine a 2 teaspoons of baking powder here and a 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So this is the soda. We'll combine it here. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There you go. And when I said dry ingredients, I'm not going to include the sugar here. We include the sugar on the eggs because we want to make sure that the egg is being cooked by the sugar using the speed. And for the wet ingredients, we will need a cup of canola oil or vegetable oil or whatever available oil in your pantry. You can use it. So it's 204 grams. So I'm gonna put 3 eggs here. We've got 3 eggs that are already at room temperature. Okay, we'll set that aside. Go. On my previous episode, I asked you to crack the eggs on a separate bowl because you don't want eggshells inside, but for some reason I feel like an expert now. See, there's no egg white. There is none. Oh my god, did I say egg white? I meant eggshells. Gosh. So in the stand mixer, we're gonna just move the mixer here. So we'll start beating these egg yolks together with the sugar. 300 grams of sugar, which is 1.5 cup. Okay, well, I can skip that. Well, again, if you have a weighing scale, you can actually use it and measure 300 grams, okay? And now, we're gonna start. So it looks like we achieved the consistency of a banana milkshake. Look at that, pretty good. So now it's time to mix in our oil. There you go. But you want to make sure that you put it on a low speed, otherwise you'll have oil all over the place. Pour it. Okay, it's done. And we're gonna increase it in the medium speed just to make sure that the oil will incorporate itself into that mixture that we had a while ago. So maybe a little bit more. Okay, now when it's done, we will be putting our dry ingredients alternately with our secret ingredients. Okay? And now for the secret ingredients, we have this. This is yogurt. So this is what makes our chocolate cake super moist and not dry. See? I put about 3/4 cups of yogurt. If you have a scale again, you can measure 180 grams of this one. So we do alternate this with the dry ingredients. So put a bit, not a bit, but put half of the yogurt in after you do the first part of the dry ingredient. There you go. Let's stop again, and then we can put, another set. So it's 3 parts of the dry ingredients because I want to make sure to finish it with a dry one. And then we can actually pour in all the yogurt. And I tell you, this is the best chocolate cake ever that you will taste. Oh, sorry. Supposed to be reversed. And I'm gonna add in the last remaining dry ingredients in. And there you go. Now we want to make sure to put it in a medium to high speed, just for it to fully incorporate itself. And once in a while, there you go. You want to stop and then scrape the side of the cake butter, because sometimes they like to stick on the side, especially at the bottom. There you go. And just so you know, you don't need a stand-up mixer. You can actually use this handheld mixer as well. Okay, now we're done mixing it. You know what? I like to do this at the end. You want to ensure that there's no lumps at the bottom, so you want to just keep scraping. Okay, and now we're gonna pour it on our prepared baking things. Okay. Now, there's 2 things. If you're good at estimating, or they say eyeballing it, so you can use it or you can do that scale. But for me, I always want to ensure to weigh it. It's safer. Okay. Now, if you're using a 6 inches by 4 inches in height, you can pour in about 570 grams. But because I'm using only 2 inches, then just kind of do a 400 grams on each pan. For the extra, you can actually make it a cupcake. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna put about 400 grams. Because the tendency, if you put more, it's gonna overflow. And sometimes it sinks in the middle. Yeah, alright. There you go. 401. Won't hurt. Then another one. But if you're using a 4x6, it's okay to finish all of the butter mixture in your cake pan. There you go. Oopsie. Alright, now we're ready to put it in the oven. We bake it for about 45 to 50 minutes. And one last thing before I forgot, you make sure to top it like that so that all the bubbles are gone. You want to make sure to kill all those bubbles. There you go. And now we're ready. Now our cake batter is baking. We're gonna set our timer for 45 minutes. I've got this timer here. This is my favorite, that's why I'm using it, but it's up to you. You can use your own digital timer, or you can use your phone even. So we'll set it for 45 minutes. See you then. Alright, now it's done. Let's check it out. Now our cake has cooled down. It's time to take it out of the baking pan. So now, if you wanna use it tomorrow or say next week, you wanna put it in the freezer right away. Not in the fridge though, because it tends to dry. So you wanna make sure you put it right away in the freezer, okay? There you go. Now, I always wanna make sure that I wrapped my cake like that. So now this is ready to be stored in the freezer and can be used the next time you wanna, start decorating, or if something comes up, emergency cake, at least there's something that you can pull up, right? I'm gonna do the same thing, and there you go. Okay. Sorry. There you go. There, now it's ready. I'm gonna throw it away right away in the freezer. So this is it for now. I will see you on the next episode. Remember, life is too short, so eat cake. This is the best part of the baking show. I gotta eat the product. So good. Sweet nor dense, and most importantly, not dry. And the most. Everyone, welcome back to my channel. And sorry.